Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new week here in GameStop land.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. GameStop has taken over. I mean, let me just say this. I felt like last year kind of felt like all negative news. Very Trump heavy, very coronavirus, whatever. This to me feels like this is fun.
Yes.
If you're going to have something go viral and news and debates, and like this is so fun. And this is one of the joys of like our hyper-connected, millisecond trading news at every moment. This is fun. 2021, I like this.
So I was doing a FaceTime with my parents, showing Mav. We're just hanging out. First question my dad is, are you in on this GameStop stuff?
Yeah. I think it's everyone. I think everyone knows.
Yeah.
I have an amazing story I'll share about the GameStop thing once we get into the episode.
Okay.
But it is consumed Americans' lives.
Yeah. Okay, well, that being said, of course, it's our job to report on it. So we have a very, very exclusive special interview today. Who do we got on it?
It doesn't get bigger than this.
Okay.
We have the Wall Street Journal reporters. Let me repeat that.
Some fellow journalists.
Wall Street Journal reporters that did a deep dive on deep fucking value, the guy who created the GameStop mania.
Yes.
It does not get bigger than this. Group Chat, #1 podcast in the world, getting you right to the source.
Wow.
We're not messing around.
Just journalists talking to journalists, you know?
Yeah.
Comrades.
No big deal. What's up, comrades?
What's up, fellow reporters?
If you're at Wall Street Journal,
Yeah, you heard of them?
Oh, my gosh. Shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
Sorry for all those things we said a long time ago. Okay, well, let's get into it then. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
Straight from the source. I mean, they did the entire dive on the heart of this thing.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend.
All right, I'm excited. All right, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, and here we are in the, what do you call it? The eye of the storm, ground zero, belly of the beast.
Yes.
These two ladies have just put out an article from Deep Fucking Value. Deep Fucking Value, right?
Yes.
Getting the whole scoop of what's
Yes.
going on here. So here we are, just some fellow journalists, just chatting about what's going on in the world. Welcome, thank you for doing this.
Thanks so much for having us, guys. We're thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you mind just introducing your guys' self? Because I think the audience it'll just make us look like we're more credible when we talk because of who you guys are.
We'll just ride your coattails.
yeah, we're trying to build our own credibility. We're using you guys.
I hope so, but I am Gunjan Banerji, and I'm a markets reporter at the Wall Street Journal. I'm based in New York, and I write about everything from stocks to bonds and derivatives.
So I'm Julia Verlaine. I'm also a markets reporter at the Wall Street Journal. I usually cover debt and commodities. I focus a lot on the treasury markets and different derivatives in that space. And I've been working out of Newport, Rhode Island since July.
Okay.
Yeah, that did it. That did make us sound more legit.
Yeah, I mean.
Mission
A lot
accomplished.
of
Yeah,
derivative
exactly.
talk, bond stock.
Yeah. I'm out of my league here. I'm going to be honest.
This is super exciting for us. I mean, as you guys know, this is the biggest story in the world. And I think for us, our audience are entrepreneurs, young folks, investors that are trying to get a grasp on what's going on.
Probably a lot are invested in GameStop.
Everyone's invested in GameStop. We have 100% participation.
Are you really an investor if you're not invested in GameStop?
I don't think so.
Yes. So, I mean, you guys got to speak to Keith Gill, who is Deep Fucking Value. What was that like? Because, I mean, he's effectively become like a mythical creature in like a week.
Yeah, Julia, do you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. I think when you're just doing the job, I didn't think he was going to become a mythical creature overnight. We were sort of just sent on this mission to speak with him and get the interview and to get an accurate idea of what was happening and to capture his character. So when you're meeting the person, you're not thinking about actually the consequences of the article. You're on this deadline and you're trying to get it out and do the accurate reporting. So to be fair, I don't think Gunjan and I expected this article to turn into what it was, or Keith to turn into who he would be from the period that we started working on it to Friday when it published.
That's really interesting. So when did you guys start talking to him? Because it published Friday. Because Wall Street Bets has gone from 2 million Reddit users to over 7 million when I looked last night. It's probably way more now. So walk us through the timeline of when you met him and to publishing.
You take that one, Gunjan.
It was a crazy compressed timeline. I mean, all this GameStop stuff really started happening kind of a week ago. So we got in Monday morning and our editors were like, okay, let's attack this GameStop story. So we were both on top of it all week. And one question that kept coming up is, how did this start? You know, how did people decide they wanted to start investing in GameStop? And so many individual investors we spoke with kept saying, it's because of deep fucking value. It's because of deep fucking value. And to be honest, I had not heard of that before this week.
I don't think anyone had.
We usually avoid obscenities and stuff like that in our articles. And it was just like all these retail investors were telling us that's kind of where it came from. And it was a mad dash to kind of find him. We ended up finding his contact information and speaking with his mother on the phone as well as him. And we really just tried to convey that, you know, the journal will portray a fair story and we're going to do our best to get the story right. So that was kind of our pitch in terms of getting him to talk to us and his family members.
He talked to his mom. That's exactly what I would think.
Yeah.
So we called, his mom answered. Oh my gosh.
So like, when you guys kind of started talking to him and covering the story, did he have an understanding of like how big this is? Because like a part of me almost thought he would remain anonymous, almost like a Satoshi type character of Bitcoin because of, you know, just, I don't know, notoriety or just, you know, because now he's one of the most famous people on earth in like a matter of week.
And he could have been the finance Q.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah.
Like, did he kind of understand like the gravity of it?
I would say so. I mean, sort of to Gunjan's point in the journal, we made sure we showed up there in person. So drove up from Rhode Island and tried to speak with him. And that took some time to also make sure that we earned his trust and that he understood what we were trying to do and trying to convey him for who he was. So I think what we said in the article and what he said himself about him being a normal person, I think that was also how he approached it, where he was just like, well, I'm a normal person and I'm going to talk about this because I don't think it's about being anything bigger than that. I think that's his persona, and that's what we kind of got across in the article. Is I think he's just what he said, a normal guy, and he was doing this, and he was okay to talk about it, but wanted to be fairly represented.
So I think his mom also kind of echoed that a little bit, and I think that both Keith and his mother, incidentally, kind of realized that there was this kind of craziness building. Like they realized that they were kind of in the center of all of it. And one thing his mom said to me was, you know, when all this craziness started, I asked Keith, is this anything dishonest or illegal? And he said, no, Mom, it's not. So I think like in prior weeks, as GameStop stock started jumping even the prior week and the week before that, I think there was this sense that like there was momentum building, though maybe none of them expected it.
I wonder, like, what does Mrs. Value think? Like, is she freaked out? Is she like, what is my son doing?
She's proud.
Yeah, she's proud of him. I got the sense she was proud of him for sure. Yeah.
And it sounds like, I mean, I think for me, the most exciting part of the article is that he's a runner. And I'm an avid runner. Our community runs a lot. And I saw that one of his dreams was to build an indoor track in Brockton, Massachusetts, where he's from. And he ran a 4-minute and 3-second mile, which is just like,
that's 15 miles per hour on a treadmill for a mile.
Yes.
Who is this guy?
And by the way, that's I'm double that time.
See, he should have just not done press and done like a Kim Jong-un type, like he runs a 3.5-minute mile. Who is deep fucking value?
Yeah. I mean,
I did ask him how long it took him to run a 10-kilometer because I can do that in only like over an hour. And he's like, 30, like less than 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. And so you guys obviously cover finance daily. Is this the biggest story you've ever seen in finance? Besides like 2008 housing crisis?
I think for me it is. And it's still early. We still don't know how it's going to pan out. I think the craziest thing is we're kind of like a week or maybe even a month into this. And last year, I thought it was crazy when we were covering this huge stock market drop, during the coronavirus pandemic. And then we were covering this crazy, crazy fast recovery. And I was like, this is wild. Markets are crazy right now. But this is a totally it's another level right now.
So I think just the misconception, I think a lot of the public, from what I've gathered over the last few days, and I'd love for your guys' take on this, is that the GameStop thesis was actually rooted in fundamental analysis, and it transformed into this momentum trade. Is that what you gathered too after speaking with him?
I would agree with that. I think that he definitely viewed it as a value play. He considers himself a value investor. That's what he told us, hence the deep fucking value. And there are YouTube videos of him in front of spreadsheets and diving into the analysis on this stock that is very much rooted in how he views the fundamentals. But then I also spoke to people recently where they did not care what the fundamentals were. They were just buying it because deep fucking value bought it. So I would definitely agree with that characterization, that it started off as a value thing and it's turned into an insane momentum thing where people are almost buying this to make a statement or something like that. Julia, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say it's interesting because I spoke with some sort of traders at banks and more institutional hedge fund guys. And the way that they've looked at it too is they step back and they say, well, this is also showing how social media has disrupted journalism. It has disrupted all forms of media. We saw it disrupt politics. And now we're seeing social media disrupt finance for the first time. So I think there's that intersecting in this whole story. And then with regards to what happened, I mean, when we were speaking, we put this in the article as well, but he said it started off as that, but some people are viewing it now as a statement stock. And that to me was an interesting new phrase, a statement stock. What does it represent if you're deciding to buy this and you're not somebody like Keith that's a value investor? It's kind of taken on this life of its own, which is so unique and just a part of the time we live in.
So crazy story. I went for a run this morning, and someone who lives in my neighborhood.
What was your mile time?
Yeah, I was going to say, how fast?
Me? 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. Jesus. No fucking value.
Keith can run laps around me and then do a trade and make $10 million.
Crash a hedge fund.
So I'm running. I see my friend who lives in my neighborhood who's also going for a run, who was telling me he's running an 8-minute mile. So he's, still slower than Keith. And we start talking about this on the corner of Sunset and Crescent Heights. And he's like, what do you think about this? He's like, I'm going to put it out. He's like, I might put $1 million into it tomorrow. I'm like,
into GameStop?
Yeah. He's like, I think this is so much bigger than I don't think we realize how big it is. And I think there is this momentum that Wall Street never pays its fair share of dues in society, right? We're reading the article I read in Wall Street Journal today. Melvin Capital lost 53% in January and got bailed out by Citadel, right? If we go lose 53% of our money, no one's bailing us out.
No.
So now it is a statement stock, and it's kind of, I don't even see a reason why, if you're a shareholder of GameStop today, why you would sell, because it's just, you got to prove a point. The same, the way I look at it is Wall Street has never paid for its actions in the history.
Chance. Yeah, it feels like buying GameStop stock is your chance to get back for 2008.
Honestly, after I talked to him, I'm like, fuck it, I'm buying GameStop stock.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it all too, because I want to be a part of this movement of we have not been treated fairly. 2008 happened, no one went to jail, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then this is happening today, and this is our one chance to actually beat the man.
And that's why I think a lot of these younger people, or all different types of people that maybe don't even have a bunch of money to lose, will gladly lose the $1,000, $2,000 just to make the point.
Yes.
I don't think everyone is looking at this as I'm going to get rich today. I think there's a lot of people that are like, fuck it, I just want to screw them.
Yes.
And I'll gladly light my money on fire.
Spite.
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception there, though, because yes, Melvin Capital, as the Journal reported today, is down a lot this year, right? Some hedge funds have not fared well this year. But these trading volumes in options and stocks, we've reported this helps Wall Street as well. It helps the market makers like Citadel. It helps the brokerages. So I think there is somewhat of a misconception when people say, hey, I'm buying this to kind of go against Wall Street, because Wall Street is still part of this. And in many ways, different parts of Wall Street are still benefiting from all this trading activity.
Would you view it like this is the chance for an average investor to finally participate in some of the clearly disadvantaged situations they usually have against the average investor, where like we actually get to participate in something that like will have explosive growth?
I think that's how many of these individual investors view it, for sure. At least the ones I spoke to, where they were like, some of them want to pay off their debt, or some of them want to pay off their credit card bills, or just earn more income on the side. So I think they are viewing it as like, hey, people who trade don't have to sit in New York. They don't have to be professionals. They can be just like me sitting at home, and they definitely want to participate in that.
And I think the other thing that you have to add on here, coming from more of like a debt side, with so many people, the only way to kind of make wealth, if you even have just like $2,000, $3,000 in the bank and you're a younger person, you can't put that in a savings account. You're not going to get an interesting interest rate. It's like 0.6% on Marcus or something. Yields are at all-time lows. So the only place to kind of get money, it's not in a savings account. It's not in a money market account, the stock market. So there are people, like to Gunjan's point, you have some money and you want to pay off a credit card bill or a student loan bill. And like, what are your investment options as a regular retail person? The other stuff, like your cash isn't going to do anything for you. So then people are like, I might as well just throw this on the wall and like put $1,000 in here and get some leverage through stock options.
But don't you think a big part of this is also kind of like how people are saying like the evolution of Occupy Wall Street, or like the next phase of sort of all of this unrest?
I think that's one element of it, but it's also, there's so many people involved. I think it's tough to generalize, but that is definitely one thing I picked up on from individual investors, where they were like, Reddit is an equalizing force for us. Hedge funds can go on CNBC, they can talk up their stocks. We have Reddit. Julia, go ahead.
No, and I was going to say, another thing was, we get feedback from readers, or when you write this kind of piece, you have different people that reach out. And I think some of the sentiment that at least I've gotten from different people we've spoken to after the articles come out has been to your point, where like, this is sort of payback for 2008, or this is an equalizer, or this is like part of the whole idea of democratizing markets. It's a phrase that's gotten thrown at us recently.
Yeah. So I think Chamath had a tweet yesterday saying Wall Street Bets is the biggest hedge fund in the world, and it's completely decentralized and democratized, to your point, Julia. And the question I wanted to ask you guys, because you guys obviously have spoken to all these folks, is what was their reaction when the deplatforming happened on Discord, and then momentarily on Reddit, where they claimed it was a moderation issue? I don't know what actually...
Robinhood.
Well, you'll get to that, but like their vessel was Discord, Reddit, and then ultimately Robinhood.
Yep.
What was the reaction from everyone, and was it as visceral as I would assume?
So for the Wall Street Bets platform on Reddit going dark, to be honest, I thought it happened for such a short period of time that I didn't even get to talk to anyone about it. Like by the time I was like, oh my God, it's down, and trying to talk to people, it was back up, and I was shocked. I don't know if it was different for you, Julia.
No, I have the same on that. The one that I got more feedback was more on Robinhood kind of limiting the ability for people to buy. I think that was where I saw most of the frenzy and reaction, was about the Robinhood limits.
Yeah, and what was their reaction like? Because Robinhood has become like public enemy number one in this whole kind of situation, because I think people are understanding what Citadel's role is now. So I think people are educating themselves on what that is. And then there's people like Steve Cohen and Ken Griffin who are now become like the poster childs of like, these are the people we're fighting. What is like, when you speak to people, like how deep of an understanding do they have of like the complexity of the situation?
I think, as you said, it's growing a little bit now, but my sense is that most people don't understand, the payment for order flow, and Citadel and Susquehanna get paid for these orders that are routed. My sense is that market plumbing, it came to the surface this week, but it's not something many individual investors are paying attention to, at least the ones I've spoken to recently.
I would echo that. I think the story, I mean, if you even think about, most people don't know all the different departments of a bank or the difference between an asset wealth management section and an investment bank. And then within that, they don't realize how different floors are set up, and people don't know financial plumbing. So I think this is one of those stories where you're starting to see how is retail sometimes linked with the wholesale side. And you get like the thing about finance, all these fancy terms are thrown around that people don't always understand. And then it takes a news story like this to be like, wait, what's actually going on behind the scenes, and make people interested in actually wanting to learn about it. Because otherwise, why would you care about how order flow management is taken care of on something like Robinhood if you're a normal person, unless this kind of story comes to light?
It just feels to me like the perfect storm. Like, it feels to me like this started as like a smart play by Deep Fucking Value and friends, and then just sort of snowballed and more people caught wind of it. Then it became a problem. Then you crash Robinhood. Then you blah, blah, blah. Now it's like we're out for blood. Now it's a meme. Now it's Dave Portnoy. Like, it really feels like the perfect storm that is such a like once in a lifetime event.
And
not
just,
that it won't change things forever, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, I'll tell you where it has affected me the most. I have like this major issue with inequality in this country. And this, you know, these are things because of what we do for a living. We're privy to know how these things work in society. But it now shed a light to like the general public. And for me, it's like made me very angry because I'm always out for equality. You know, I'm a champagne socialist. I know where I sit when it comes to these types of things. And so I believe and I want the little guy to just fucking win. Mm-hmm. And I want them to take down, if a couple funds and a couple dudes got to sell their house in the Hamptons, so be it.
Yeah, like, this is your week.
Yeah,
this is your Super Bowl.
And it doesn't get any bigger because you're finally, and when we've talked about on the podcast, in these types of movements, you've never had the billionaire back the regular person. And you have like a Chamath or an Elon Musk coming out and saying, we're with the people. It just creates more like spark.
Yeah, and I think it exposed how flawed the financial system is. That the fact that high frequency traders can trade tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, creating zero value for society.
Zero fucking value.
Zero fucking value, other than deep fucking value. Yeah. And make billions of dollars on this. And like we should, like, I heard a great point. Like, if every trade got or you paid 0.1 basis point on every trade, you eliminate high frequency trading. Yeah. Then it no longer is profitable.
Yeah.
And we should be figuring out how to invest in businesses rather than just manipulate the financial markets.
Yeah.
So as like people that speak to these types of folks on the finance side daily, what is their feeling? Are they at all like nervous? Like, oh, this is the tipping point. We're exposed. Or they're like, these kids are all going to lose their money. Doesn't matter.
Like, still arrogant.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing two threads lately, and again, it's still early. I hear from a lot of people like, oh, this is going to end in tears. These people are going to lose all their money, which I honestly don't know if it's true. No one knows how this thing is going to end. And then this is interesting. I also hear from people on like the stock and the option side where they're like, these volumes are amazing. Like, our business is doing so well right now because you've seen like volatility and volumes like never before. And that's, you know, that's good for stock exchanges and brokerages and traders on Wall Street.
With regards to the people that I speak to, you have some people, I mean, the thing with Wall Street is everyone's talking their own book, right? So as a reporter, you also have to get through that and you're kind of thinking, who is the person I'm talking to? Where are they coming from? So there are the people that say they're all going to lose out, you know, that's because they want to believe in maybe their business model or what they've been doing for the past 2 decades. And then the people who are maybe saying the hedge funds are so evil and this and that, they're coming from a different space. So I think as reporters, you're always trying to figure out who's talking their book, where's the information coming from. But you're definitely, as mentioned, that it's a bit early. You're getting both sides. But what I think everyone unanimously agrees about is that like this is changing. This is going to change Wall Street in one way or another. This is like a life-changing event in the way that 2008 was. Something's happening here.
What do you guys think too from the journalist side? Like, it seems to me like there's also this sort of like old media some of the people on CNBC, some of the, whoever they are, whoever, not to call out people directly, but.
The guy Scott, that's the guy.
Is that the guy that was with Chamath?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just being very condescending.
So there's a lot of Scotts, right, who just don't, you just don't get it. You fundamentally don't even see what's happening here. You're sort of out of touch. You're like, oh, these crazy kids are going to get their asses handed to them, whatever. Do you guys see that from a journalist point of view? Like there's also this generation that's out of touch there and just fundamentally does not understand what's happening on the internet?
I'm sure there's an element of that. What's more prominent with the people I'm talking to, where they're like, if let's say they're the person that's pitching clients on trades or executing trades or something like that. They're like, maybe before I didn't go on Reddit or Twitter as much, but now I'm on there. Like I'm there for my job. They were never on Reddit before for their jobs, and now they are.
I mean, banks have been dealing with sort of this idea, like I want generational issues for a while, whether it's the fact that they've been automating trading floors and they need to hire younger millennials that usually were software engineers as a background instead of your usual kind of recruit that you might have had a decade ago. And it's like, I don't know, anytime I've spoken to bankers, there's always this idea of like, oh, the millennials, they behave differently, we recruit differently. Like, I think Wall Street's been transforming itself with automation and with the internet. And this is another part of that thread. So I definitely feel like there's like two types of people in the industry, and the millennials, like in a lot of things, have been a little bit of an upsetting force, and those that are younger as well.
I more meant like, well, I guess what I meant too is like in your guys' industry, like it seems like there's one group that is like, these crazy kids, and you just fundamentally don't understand it. And then there's another group like you guys that are at Deep Fucking Value's house on Monday, like, let me understand it, and putting out an article. And, it just feels like there's a disconnect there in the reporting.
And I also, like, you guys referenced 2008. So do you get the sense that the Wall Street bankers and traders that you guys talk to regularly, it's similar to the Wall Street guys in 2008 that never thought the housing crisis could ever happen? Like, oh, there'll never be a national housing decline because that never happened. And is it similar sentiment like, oh, these Reddit kids will go away, and then they don't, and they're actually screwed? Is that what you guys are kind of feeling?
So I was not covering markets. I was still in school during the financial crisis. So I'm completely unequipped to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was actually working at Barclays. So I did foreign exchange sales and trading. So I was working at Barclays the summer of 2008, and then they merged with Lehman. So I wasn't there during 2008. I did a summer internship right before it all happened, and then I started working at a bank in 2009. And I think I won't compare the two events in that sense, but I think what I meant was like the impact that it will have, at least I think so, view of finance is going to be like as strong. I don't think there's some systemic event here, so I don't want to like directly compare the two in that sense. I meant from a social perspective that this is going to be transforming, but I don't, at least at the moment, I don't see some sort of systemic event. But like anything, my question here too is like, are there going to be new regulations that are going to come out on retail trading? Like what are the politics going to be? Like what wave of regulation are we going to see after this? Because that's what you saw in 2008. Like a little blip gets revealed or something's wrong. And then like the next step is the regulators come in and then investigation starts. So I think that's kind of also the next phase of this story is, well, what are the politicians and the regulators going to do about retail trading? What is this revealing to them? And then what are they going to interpret it as?
I also have to believe that like part of like the same way that everyone having a camera phone became a police against, let's say, the police or any different issue, right? I have to believe that to a degree, the Redditors sort of police, like, don't you think these big funds and stuff would always in the back of their minds be like, well, we don't want to leave this situation open for them to exploit. And it almost becomes a like self-policing system in that way, or no?
Perhaps. I mean, my view is actually a little different. I actually think this is like BLM for finance. And I think it's going to be a massive change and shift where like you saw like people come together last week that never come together to recognize there's something going on here that is not fair. Now we're all going to go and understand what those things are. And I just don't see this situation ending nicely. And I'm not saying, I don't think it hurts. I don't know if it's the Reddit investor or if it's Wall Street, but I think it's like, to me, it's heading to a collision course where someone's going to have to give in. And I just don't think the people this time are going to give in. It's similar to when you saw, the protesting did not stop till we saw some sort of recognition by politicians, some sort of policy changes. This one is even bigger because this is like, we're all getting screwed. So let's all fight this together. And so I think...
So the parallel I want to make is, so I was an investment banker back in 2007. So still a peak in finance.
One of them.
Yeah, I was one of them.
One of the bad guys.
I'm now on the value side.
Yeah, thank you.
I've read it on my app, on my iPhone. I'm clicking that.
Just making sure.
Yeah. So in 2007, the spring of 2007, Bear Stearns said 2 hedge funds blow up. And everyone kind of just ignored it. And that was the first sign that there's actually, the system might actually have some holes in it. And it took another 18 months for everything to just collapse. So what we saw Friday, Thursday was that exchanges clearly had liquidity problems. And it took a Reddit board with millions of users to create the liquidity problem at Robinhood, TD, a handful of other exchanges. So unless the regulations ramp up immediately, my concern is that all the exchanges are going to run into these liquidity problems unless they go raise 10x their cash balances because they weren't prepared for this. And if you look at the rate the Reddit boards are growing, this is just going to compound. They're shorting silver right now as we speak.
I saw that. Now
even
there's
Alex
like
Jones
a silver
short squeeze.
Yeah.
So my question is that it could be systemic. I don't know. This could be just it actually could be systemic on the way the exchanges work. And maybe they are broken. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like during any of these seismic events, it's like what we saw last year when sort of the when like the treasury market broke like part of the financial plumbing system. Like you have these little blips during like big market events when people all want to pile into one thing at the same time. So I see your parallel where like this has revealed a hole, but I'm not sure like what's the solution to that? Are you going to take away the right for retail stock buying? Because that's unfair then.
I don't think it's that. I think you have to require the exchanges to have way more liquidity because from the reports that have come out, Robinhood didn't deplatform GameStop because they didn't want Redditors to make money. They just didn't have the liquidity to back the trades.
That seems to be the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to raise $1 billion. We're hearing even more. I mean, like, it's just...
I don't know if that's enough, is my point.
Yeah.
Because all it took was 1 week of virality on Reddit on a stock that was fairly thinly traded a week ago or 2 weeks ago to shut down an exchange.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wonder...
A brokerage, sorry. Yeah.
I just wonder. I do think this is a lifelong change that we're watching happen, whatever the results of this are, but I just can't for the life of me guess what it is. And it seems like there's so many smart people that aren't even like claiming to know. Like I've never seen so many smart people be like, I don't know how this pans out. I don't know who loses. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, because it's like, who's going to blink, right? Like someone has to blink for this to end.
I'm just happy I can throw away everything I ever learned in finance in my life.
Yeah, and go on Reddit.
None of it matters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's the arrogance part of the finance community that we always talk about is on CNBC, they're talking about the fundamentals of GameStop while half of Fortune 500 companies haven't even been operating. They should all be bankrupt. You know, American Airlines they should be insolvent. But if it wasn't for the Fed and the liquidity in the market, we're allowing everyone to survive while we haven't been able to give a stimulus check to like our average citizen. So I just think if that stimulus gets passed in the next 2 weeks and all of a sudden Americans each have extra $1,400.
It's all going to GameStop.
Okay, that's why I think it's a seismic event in terms of the markets where I think it becomes like this war on finance.
That I feel like they almost have to like hold the stimulus.
Yes, you can't
until this gets resolved.
Yeah, you can't deposit your stimulus.
It's literally just like $3 trillion into GameStop.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, we're just kind of talking here.
Yeah.
But So let me ask you guys this. Like, what's the weekend been like? This came out on Friday. Have you guys just been getting absolutely blown up the whole weekend?
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
Because you guys have the only like real in-depth story, or the first one, or on Deep Fucking Value, right?
I believe so. Yes, it was an exclusive for the Wall Street Journal.
Yep.
And so he was only obsessed over GameStop. Is he looking at all these other companies? Does he think AMC is a great buy, or does he think BlackBerry, or is he just like his thesis just went out the window and it's just created all these other moments?
I don't think we can share his future stock picks. That would be a breach of source confidence.
Oh, come on. I thought this was supposed to be democratized. Is that the whole point of it?
What about the little guy?
Just win and buy lunch tomorrow.
Yeah. Just wink if it's AMC.
That's so funny. You know what else is funny is I think that even though I knew there was real intelligence behind all of this, I still kind of, I think, underestimated Deep Fucking Value, as opposed to like he was going to do this no matter if it became famous or not.
Yeah.
This is just what he was doing, and I'm guessing will continue to do. And now like it's become this phenomenon. Is that the right way to think about it?
Well, he did, I believe we put this in, but he did first buy GameStop back in like 2012, 2013. And so the stock was on his radar for a while and he cycled out of it. So I think with regards to GameStop, at least, it was on his radar for a long time, and then he felt like it hit the right price, which goes back to what we said. Like, he does consider himself like a value investor is looking for certain price to future cash flows. So,
and yeah, I mean, and sorry to interrupt, but like he was working at Mass Mutual, is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
He was doing marketing at Mass Mutual.
And I mean, you guys published his kind of trades. So he lost $15 million on Thursday. Is that right?
I can't remember which day it was, but yeah, it was something around that. Just in one day, the day that Robinhood crimped access to GameStop, and the stock fell tremendously. So he lost around that, and I think he gained roughly that or even more the following day. So just to give you an idea of how volatile the stock has been.
And he'll say that. I don't know how much you watched his channel, but like he will talk about having to deal with like big swings and how to emotionally handle that. And yeah, so he was up and down a lot this week based on the.
And he's not closing his trade, right? He's in it, like he's kind of like the martyr at this point. Like he's going down with the ship. Is that what it is? Because he's obviously making more money than he could ever imagine. He can close the trade and be done. But I feel like he's proving a point now.
I mean, last we checked, he had not closed the trade. Of course, we have no idea what he will do next.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so jealous. Like, I feel like you guys are just.
I hope you guys get to write the movie.
What happened?
This will be the biggest.
I mean, the Wall Street Journal reporters were the ones who uncovered $1 Billion Whale, and then ultimately the book.
Really?
Yeah. Right? Am I right on that?
We have some amazing colleagues.
Holy cow.
Who are out of this world, for sure.
Don't forget about us when you guys get famous and have a
It's too late, man. We're 2 days too late. They're characters in a movie already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Next time we have them on, it's going to be a big charge.
Yeah.
We won't be able to have them on again.
No.
So
like 10 grand and we're
we'll
not
just
coming.
have to re-air this.
Just like we knew them.
Me and my sweatshirt heard from the weekend, not from the video.
We're just glad we knew you, before you made it. We'll use this video as proof. We'll be like, see, she was just at home in a sweatshirt. We were friends.
If people want to follow you guys throughout this process, what is the best social media platform to kind of get all the latest information?
Sure. So for news, I'm on Twitter at Gunjan JS.
Okay.
Same. I have a Twitter account, but I have to admit I'm not as great about it as Gunjan is. So my handle is JA Verlaine on Twitter. But if not, I actually use LinkedIn more.
Oh, okay, great. We have a big LinkedIn
and
audience.
we'll post it. Pete will post it on all our social so everyone can keep up to date on the biggest story in the world.
Yeah, ever in all of finance.
Yeah, I know you guys are more calm about it because you guys are professionals. I'm excited. I think this is going to bring down the house. That's my honest opinion, and I'm excited to see what happens. I think it's going to be like this enormous, pivotal, transformational time in American finance. And
does Deep Fucking Value have security?
Better get deep fucking security.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like Steve Cohen's gonna send some goons.
Just saying, man. I'm just saying, if I was him, I would have some guys in suits at this point.
I mean, he's got the money. Sell a couple shares.
Yes, sell it just so you can secure security for a couple years.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It was really special.
Oh, this is so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, anytime. Listen.
Ongoing story, as you said. So we're excited because there's still so much more to come and see how it unfolds.
Are you guys, by any chance, going to check out Elon Musk on Clubhouse tonight? Because I feel like he's going to drop some bombs in there.
We probably should, to be honest.
Thanks for putting it on the radar.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
That was awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. That was really fun.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anytime you guys are free, we'll have you guys anytime.
Anytime you need a platform, we're here.
Our listeners are going to love it.
Yeah, anytime, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, well, enjoy it. I mean, I'm sure you're going to have your hands full here. It's going to be a crazy week for you guys.
Yeah. We're really working tonight, to be honest, once we hop off this video call.
Okay.
Perfect.
So good.
We'll let you guys go. Thanks,
you.
guys.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Guys, real quick, Super Bowl's coming up.
Yes.
And it's a big day for getting loose. Just loosening up, take some stress away.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to chugging a bunch of alcohol, but as we know, doesn't always lead to the happiest morning.
No.
Not exactly the healthiest way to go about loosening up.
Nope. Not fresh after running 75 miles.
Absolutely not.
No chance. And that brings me to our friends over at Sweet Flower.
Yeah.
Much better option. And that's why we've teamed up with them to talk about what they're doing.
Sweet Flower, if you live in Los Angeles, has 4 locations. You do?
I do, yeah.
So they have one in Studio City.
Close.
Melrose.
Even closer.
Which the location I go to.
Okay.
Arts District and Westwood.
Ooh, fancy.
Great locations, incredible stores. The thing about why I love their particular stores is they're not intimidating. Mm-hmm. There's still some of these smoke shops when you walk in or cannabis shops. I'm just like, whoa.
You just
you
call
feel
them
like,
smoke shops.
Oh, you want a purple, orange, purple,
purple.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Enough with the slang.
You walk through the beads.
Yeah. Dude.
And
Step
weird
it up.
incense.
And just trying to have a nice time tonight. Relax.
Yeah. They've done a really good job. That's the one thing I've really noticed about them, even above all else, is just their presentation of everything. Packaging, stores.
Yes.
It's so like what it should be.
Yeah, and I think the thing that excites me also about what they're doing is they're focusing also on the non-smoking products.
I like
so
that.
Whether it's our friends over at Can, there's another drink called Artet, and all the edibles. For someone that's a parent, it's really hard to, roll up a J in the backyard.
Yeah, you can't have a blunt burn. You got 2 babies.
Yeah.
Pretty much only like Wiz Khalifa at this point can get away with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they do a great job where you can walk in and say, I want to sleep, I want to recover, and they'll put together a kit for you.
I love that.
Which is great. And I think sleeping is probably a big one for a lot of people. So they have THC stuff, they have CBD stuff, all of that stuff is incredible. I mean, the fact that they have the kits, it actually makes it a lot easier because, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, exactly. I'm not an expert. Like, you want to talk to me about, Harvard.
Margin.
The great best coffee in Cambridge, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But I'm not your guy when it comes to THC or cannabis.
So you're telling me I can watch the Super Bowl, drink some Sweet Flower.
Take a load off.
Well, you can't drink Sweet Flower because it's a store. You can drink the whole store if you wanted to.
Yeah, drink the whole store, but I can enjoy myself and just go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it'll just be a lot easier to deal with, Like, I think...
Less screaming.
Yeah. Like, your team might not win. It might go how you wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, you have a few of those in you.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
And the thing about THC that I've noticed, based on obviously the different strains, there's stuff that doesn't knock you out. There's stuff that like is a little more active and and keeps you kind of going.
But you're not mad. You know, you're not gonna like cuss out your buddy.
No, you're not gonna be you don't want to end up on like, you know, House of Highlights throwing your remote into the TV.
Or
you know what drunk people do? They do dumb shit like that.
No one's doing a House of Highlights if someone's sleeping peacefully on a couch.
No, that's so true.
So, and we have a discount code, which is crazy.
Of course we do.
Delivery and takeout only. Go to sweetflower.com and use the code
Group Chat
to get
20% off.
20% off cannabis is substantial.
Yes.
And the code is good from February 1st to March 1st.
Correct.
So 20%, I mean, that's a real discount.
Yes.
So you can use it for delivery or you can use it for takeout.
And how great is that? It goes right to your front door. You don't have to go leave the house and deal with all those disgusting people in the world.
Or just pull up.
Yeah. Pop it right in your car and you're gone.
That's amazing. Thank you, Sweet Flower. 20% off.
Okay.
And I'm going to let loose this week.
Have you tried the alcohol stuff? Well, the kind of like...
I'm actually going to do On the Rocks with some club soda tonight.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, you do that? You do a little combo?
Yeah.
A little mixer?
I do a mixer.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
That microdosing.
Yes, I'm a big microdoser.
Big microdoser.
The problem is after 3 hours, it becomes mega dose.
I'm a mega doser. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Wow. There you have it. Just, it's good to talk to other journalists in times like this.
Yeah, it feels... But what's interesting about other journalists, meaning these two amazing women from the Wall Street Journal, is they're so much more even keel than...
I know.
At least I am, for sure.
I can't believe we got them before they're going to be super famous.
Yeah. That's like when we were hanging out with Post Malone before he signed his record deal. That's what that just was.
That's what it felt like. Because they're going to be on, NBC, Today Show.
They're doing the movie.
Yeah.
It's the trifecta.
Because now Deep Fucking Value trusts them. His trust levels are going down by the minute.
Yeah, he can't trust anyone.
No.
And by the way, the article did make him look like a great guy. Yeah.
Doing a track.
And fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
Is this not very similar to if Michael Burry, from The Big Short, would have been on Reddit and would have filled people in on his position?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It is.
And so you need the bigger short.
Yeah.
The next movie, call the team, call Steve Carell back.
I think Christian Bale could play him.
Why not?
No, I want Steve Carell.
Yeah, but Christian Bale was Burry.
I know, but Christian Bale, I thought Christian Bale's canceled.
But didn't Burry ride this?
He's canceled.
Did he get canceled?
Yeah, why is he canceled?
I thought he was canceled.
No,
I thought he was
he's
yelling
definitely
at his
not
kid or
canceled.
something.
Oh. But didn't...
Look that up.
Didn't Burry sort of tag on to...
GameStop.
He was after
Yeah.
Deep Fucking Value.
Yeah, he jumped on the trade.
Yeah,
I
he
think
jumped after. And then the
So that could be his
founder, too.
character. Like, hey man, just trying to talk.
Yeah, with
No time.
the metal music.
Yeah. And
He's trying to call Deep Fucking Value.
Mrs. Value's like, sorry, you can't talk
Russell
right now.
Brand's got the hair.
That could be good.
Russell Brand? Are you joking?
Just saying, he's got
He
the
looks
hair.
like Cousin Greg from Succession. But Cousin Greg could also play
grow out
Vlad.
Cousin
Did you
Greg's
see
hair.
the meme that
Oh, you're right.
Deep Fucking Value and Vlad look exactly the same?
There.
Just one doesn't have a headband?
Yeah,
Ever seen them both in the same place?
yeah. That would be real interesting.
Real interesting. Okay.
I'll tell you the most inspiring thing about this story, and then we'll move on, is when you look at Keith Gill's background, I think he went to Stonehill College. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
He ran track. He was working at Mass Mutual. He is like everybody else. He's obviously a smart guy.
Yeah.
But that just shows the power of the internet. Is this dude? He's been focusing on this company for a decade.
But that's the beauty. We've criticized the internet a lot on this podcast, but that also has access to information that just a smart guy has access to GameStop's financials and can make his decision.
Yeah.
I agree.
This
But
guy.
I will say, 4 Minute Mile, he might not be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
This guy might be a little crazy. Like one of those genius, ultra focused.
Yeah. How are you running that fast, bro?
I don't get it, man. That to me is the biggest red
Maybe
flag.
it's called the fast short.
The what?
The fast short.
That's what you call it?
The movie.
Instead of Big Short. But it's a
It
fast
just
long.
opens up with...
They went long. They didn't go short.
Yeah,
No, but okay, fine.
that's true. Fast and long.
Fast and long.
Justin Long can be there. You can stop. Okay. Speaking of running,
Well, real quick, Christian Bale not canceled.
He's not canceled.
Not fully.
There should be like a live website that's like, are they canceled or not? You can search a name.
So apparently, back in like 2009, he told he was on set and he told the director of photography to go fuck himself, and then he's gonna kick his fucking ass.
Oh, that's nothing.
whatever.
Come on.
Now they're really like,
where's your stuff?
Are you kidding?
called him a prick too.
I wish you
So
should
that was-
literally Google. You know when you Google someone, it says
Yeah.
their age.
Yeah,
or,
it
you
should
know,
be like
whatever. It
canceled,
should
not
say-
canceled.
It's like blue check or
Yeah.
Or red. Red slash.
Then you just know. Okay.
Speaking of running,
Yes.
how'd the challenge go?
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Big news.
What do we got?
GRC 75-mile challenge is complete.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Honestly, this last set of miles today, I was tired. I was like, fuck.
Did you walk the last one?
No, I mean, I can't count walking miles. It just in my head, like I feel like I'm cheating it. So I finished it. I was at 72 miles this morning and I ran it. And for whatever reason, maybe because mentally it was my last run, my legs felt like 100 pounds. I was like, what, I got tree trunks?
I'm surprised that it took you to the last day. You run a lot.
Yeah, so...
You also just came off of the other running thing, Dean. Did we have something the month before?
In December?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure we
So,
did. I forgot.
I'm like,
half marathon.
yeah, you did the half marathon. That's what I'm saying. I was like
Yeah, but I'm just
blanking.
thinking, if you 30 days, how many in January?
31 days.
31 days.
I only ran 21 of them,
Okay,
though.
got
So what happened was I always jump off to a hot start, like
then-
run 5, because I know, especially coming off of like once work starts, then it becomes very hard to run. And I don't like to run at night anymore. It's just
It's probably not safe.
probably not safe.
Safe for me, not safe for you.
Yeah. So at night, I've just eliminated that run. So if I don't run in the morning, then I don't run. On weekends, the only time I run is in Santa Monica on Saturday if Dominic lets me. But other than that, it's like I got to run during the week in the morning. So time is limited. But, you know, I'll tell you this. We had probably 600-700 people, I think, run.
Wow.
Over 70,000 miles ran. I think I saw a guy out in Pasadena. I got to find his name. Who's ran nearly 700 miles.
Hey, that I don't get. How's that even possible?
He was doing 20 miles around the Rose Bowl. Like, because Luke went and looked through all the miles to see.
Because that means at least 20 miles a day.
It sounds like it, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Because you have to hit some 30-mile
And
days.
by the way, running around the Rose Bowl, if you've never done it, it's hilly. Like if you go the outskirts of the Rose Bowl, there's hills. It's not
yeah.
flat.
I mean, I know how many times we've walked out of the Rose Bowl trying to find a ride.
Yeah.
Was
So,
he the winner for the most miles?
Yeah, so I think he's gonna win. I mean,
Right.
Today's the 31st. Everyone will submit their miles today. He's been submitting in like kind of clusters.
Yeah.
Same with mine. Like I'm submitting my miles tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing, obviously, what the top runners did. But then everyone else, I have so many friends that participated in this time, and they were all like, I'm addicted. I literally have become addicted to running. I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And the upside is clear. You obviously get in shape. There's no doubt about that. There's something about the runner's high that people kind of talk about. When you run outside, even after that first mile, you feel it. Like it's like euphoric feeling. It's honestly, for me, very similar to drinking or smoking weed. I get the same feeling from running as I do for those things.
No, I love running too. And I think what I find the most enjoyment is it's the only time where you can't look at your phone.
Yes.
You can't look at text messages. You can't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
It's just you. And I listen to podcasts when I run.
Yeah.
So and I actually notice when I listen to podcasts when I'm not running, I probably comprehend 50%. When I'm running, I comprehend 100%.
Yeah, because
there's nothing else to focus on.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll listen to music sometimes, podcasts sometimes, but I would say 50% of the time, it's just air.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to anything because it is such a nice escape away from the phone, away from people. It's great. And I know some people live in colder climates, so they have to run on treadmills.
First time I ran the GRC 75, I was in Wisconsin still. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get to like a gym was difficult to get to.
Yeah.
Just so far away. And I would just like want to run outside because the treadmill's so boring. Like treadmill, doing 2 miles on a treadmill is the most painful thing in the world.
And
Instead
there's
of run outside.
Crazy like mental health benefits to running.
Yeah.
I mean, the quarantine's wearing on everyone. I've woken up like just bummed out because there's literally nothing to do. And I go run a few miles and I feel better.
Yeah. It's insane. Like this morning, I was really tired. I had a bad night of sleep for some reason. And after running, I felt great. It's you literally get a boost of energy from running. And
yeah, do 3 miles down to Celsius. Your day's great.
Yeah, or tequila, whatever. Yeah, I mean, and I think I'm also continued to be inspired by a lot of you who ran for the first time. And maybe you got to 75, maybe you didn't, but I've always get so many messages every time we do this challenge of how like it's had an impact. It's become a routine part of their life. The thing about running that I love about it, for me, this particular challenge is just discipline. Like you have to run literally every day or every other day to hit 75 miles, especially if you're not like a long distance runner. So that discipline is so important to instill in all parts of your life. So shout out to everyone who did the run challenge. If you signed up, you will get your kit, which will include the limited edition Grand Running Club hat. It's an incredible hat, so look out for that. Bunch of goodies inside the box, discount codes for all of our brands. And here to announce, we actually we'll launch next week, the GRC Women's Everyday Pant.
Wow.
Ooh.
So if you're a woman and signed up for the challenge, you'll have a discount code to go and buy whatever you want. We now have women's clothes there. So that's going to be amazing. So shout out to everyone that ran. And I think I'll find out the name of the winner because that's going to be exciting. I mean, I got to meet this guy who ran 7.
And so he gets $1,000.
So I think we may have changed it because there was some controversy. So that's why I want to wait to clarify. But I know today was the last day of the challenge. So I wanted to make sure we shouted out everyone who did the challenge. And if you didn't do it and you're one of those Peloton pussies, aka drama, you know, we're gonna for people for people that do the Peloton.
Oh my God! I walked down and sat down. It was Peloton pussy.
So
and you want to be a Harvard man?
Yeah,
That's not how they got there.
Yeah.
This is the new Harvard.
This is the USC side of me.
Yeah.
I mean, so people that spin always hit me up and say, "Hey, why don't you let bikers?" So if you run 75, you have to bike 1,500 miles. That's the equivalent.
Yeah, I mean, look for your
1,500.
brand, you should be saying "fuck bikers."
Yeah.
For your brand should be like.
I went running today.
I think. Hold on. I think biking's fine. Not everyone's body can run.
Fuck them though. You're here for running.
Yeah.
You're the Grand Running Club.
Yeah.
And you need, like, when I grew up skateboarding,
Yeah.
we hated fucking bikers and
Yeah.
we hated rollerbladers.
Yes.
And if you showed up, it was like, fuck you, man. You want to fight or what?
Yeah, and
You
Wait,
chose
so if
the
a
wrong sport.
rollerblader showed up to the skate park, what happens?
You fucked with them. You would like
Really?
shoot your board at them and stuff.
No
Yeah,
way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And bikers too. It was just some stupid beef.
You know
And
the
I'm
funny thing
assuming the
is,
skateboarders are tougher than the rollerbladers.
And we have weapons. You have a weapon. You have a skateboard.
Poor rollerbladers.
Bikers are tough though, I will say.
I'm
Rollerbladers
standing
are
up for
pussies.
rollerbladers.
Rollerbladers are pussies, but BMX bikers are kind of tough.
yeah, I mean, and the other interesting thing is, you know, I was running today and a group of bikers biked past me, and I've mentioned this before. Bikers are big.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where are you biking? You don't lose any calories?
Yeah, well,
Like,
You see Paul's stories. He's drinking fucking 8 beers after and fucking 10 bratwursts.
Look,
Like,
it all
Paul's
depends on
probably
your.
hosting clubhouses while he's fucking biking.
Yeah. It all depends on your route, you know? You pick a downhill route.
yeah, you just
Throw on some
cruising.
Sandex.
but
and you're like, whatever.
I mean, it's, you know, kudos for the confidence to wear skin tight clothes with the belly just hanging out.
Yeah, you just got to feel like you're fit, and
Yeah.
that's half the battle.
I mean, I guess if you wear tight enough clothes, you kind of feel fit.
You just feel fit, yeah.
I'm just shocked at the confidence level. There's no one that has more confidence than outside bikers. With, you know, like, that's what everyone we should strive for. Like, you talk about like body comfort.
I mean, I bet if you could see Pelotoners, it would be like embarrassingly confident. Just their little AirPods. Like, I bet you that's next level. But I think I just want to make a push, even though I am a new going nowhere biker. I would like to push that Grand Running Club should say fuck all other forms of cardio.
You don't have to.
You should
twist my arm.
You should allow him to sign up and then blue bomb. You're like, just kidding. You don't get anything.
I said 1,500 miles.
No. Yeah, let him do it. But then just be like, just kidding.
I mean, it's 50 miles a day. You do 50 miles a day?
50 miles a day is insane.
How long does it take bike 50 miles? 2 hours?
No, way
5-0?
more.
Yeah.
Way more. Remember, we used to go to Manhattan Beach.
I know, but we used to get tanked and bike back. I mean, that takes 6 hours.
Takes some time.
Yeah, I don't know that answer. So I'm not welcome.
You're not welcome.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, I'll mind my business.
So shout out to everyone who did the GRC 75. Before we get into our shout outs, congratulations to you. Even if you did not finish. Okay, even if you, I'll give you an A for effort.
Were you supposed to shout out people who didn't finish?
I'm not supposed to.
No, don't do that. Don't shout out bikers and don't shout out people who didn't finish.
Yeah, at least lie to me.
GRC,
lie to my face.
Lie to me.
GRC 75 needs some attitude.
Yeah.
It needs some, you're either with us or you're fucking out. You know what makes a strong gang? An enemy.
Yes.
You need to make a few.
You see a biker, kick their tires.
Yeah, we should.
While it's moving.
We should start doing that.
You should.
Go take
you
a couple
should see a
videos.
GRC on someone running down the boardwalk and step aside.
Bikers have attitude too.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Share the road.
Yeah.
Bikers
Out of that.
They're elitist. They're elitist.
It's a one swerve and you're out of here.
It's a rich.
Just one little nudge and you're dead.
Watch that arrogance, buddy.
I mean, bikers, you know who bikers are? They're the ones shorting GameStop.
The shorter.
Oh, short.
They're Melbourne Capital.
They're Melbourne Capital. I guarantee you everyone at Melbourne fucking Capital is a
Elitist.
cyclist.
They probably have a bike club.
Yeah.
Well, it is true. Hedge fund guys are big bikers.
Yeah. They're
They
elitist.
are.
Big bikers.
That's big in the billionaire community, right?
Yes.
But remember, there's I think it's Vanity Fair, Rolling Stone article on Bill Ackman on how he was like biking in front of all the hedge fund guys and just like overshot, like went too fast early, and then all the other hedge fund guys beat him.
Because you know what their pros at is going further than everyone else while sitting down.
Yeah.
And trying half as hard. Freaking crooks.
That's finance in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We're going to take this cushion ride while you are on your feet.
Yeah.
I bet you these hedge fund pussies have electric bikes just to go
Yeah, they just press a little button and get a boost up that hill. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, let's get into some shout outs. Tim, I know you got a shout out for us. Let's start with yours.
Well, actually, instead of a shout out, I don't know why this got sent to me. I feel like maybe this was an address mistake, but I got a letter from the Harvard Dean of Admissions.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Pretty unbelievable.
Wow. They just checking in on
really
their
making
alumni.
inroads.
Well, yeah. I think it was sent to me by mistake. But it says, hello again. Our institution hopes you receive this email in good health. Congratulations, Dee, on your admission to Harvard.
Thank you.
You'll be pleased to hear that a lot of your people attend this school. By your people, I'm obviously referring to Los Angeles elites. You probably
I thought you were talking about Indians.
You probably thought when I said your people, I was talking about Indians. Well, we have a lot of those too.
Oh, they actually wrote that?
Speaking of Indians, I heard a story about Shah Rukh Khan's son who went to USC. Apparently, he got jumped by some frat boys after he tried cutting in line somewhere and said, "Don't you know who I am?" If Tim doesn't know who he is or his dad is, Connor from Sigma Chi definitely doesn't.
You know what's funny is I believe the story. Like if you're an Indian kid at USC, because I was an Indian kid at USC, if you try to jump the line trying to get into a frat party, you're getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
Really?
100%.
It doesn't matter who your dad is.
Shah Rukh Khan's kid is getting his ass whooped if he's trying to do that.
That's an Indian thing? Like if you're a white kid, that doesn't happen? Or
Oh, yeah. They don't want minorities at the frat row.
No, yeah.
Got it. So it doesn't matter who the dad is. Okay. All right.
Well, regardless, welcome to Harvard, D. We'll think about offering drama admission, but he has to bring short story long back first. It's been almost a year, bro. Just do a Kevion Part 5 interview and get the ball rolling.
Yeah, like Kevion literally just texted me. He's like, hey, I'm coming up there Thursday. Do you want to do an episode? So
maybe that's the comeback.
Maybe that's the comeback. And then you won't hear from me for 9 more months.
Just do Kevion once a year.
I'll do one episode with Kevion once a year. We'll talk about how the year went.
So now this, your secret messenger has to be a USC kid.
Yeah.
If he knows that story.
Yeah.
Is that Seymour Butkiss? That's the same guy?
Yeah. Satoshi, all of it.
That guy's good.
Yeah.
That guy might need a segment.
Yeah.
He does.
From the film.
This is his fucking segment. It's every week.
He does. You're right.
Every week I go into the email.
No, week.
Oh yeah, every episode. Sorry, yeah.
It is.
3
Every
times a week.
shout out. One shout out.
Every time I go
Every
into
time,
to the email to find it, and it's always there. I'm like, maybe he won't this time.
Good for him. He does a good job. It's not annoying.
No,
He does
I
it
think
well.
I think he's writing these in advance.
I think
'cause
he's
just plugging
a
and playing.
writer.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
a screenwriter.
He does it well.
I think he's close to you guys. I think he's in your circle, and he just won't admit.
We dropped some hints in the last one.
I don't think he's in our circle.
He's probably much younger.
I think he's a
Shah Rukh
lot
Khan's
young.
kid is probably 22 years old.
Yeah, Shah Rukh Khan's kid went to USC, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Rustin. It's got to be part of the group chat live.
yeah.
Okay, what else?
We got Crystal Hurwitz. January 31st is her birthday, the big 35. Her birthday trip to Puerto Vallarta got canceled because of COVID tests.
Why? Everyone's there.
Because we don't want a COVID test in. Oh, you just don't want to do it?
You don't want to
I mean,
have
if
to.
you're 35, roll the dice.
Yeah. You're still young.
Whatever.
She's a diehard Kathy, and it's apparently helped her hair business during the pandemic. So check her out at Glow by Crystal.
Glow up.
Oh, Glow Up by Crystal. That's Cristal.
For any ladies who need hair help.
Hair help. So, ladies, go check out her page. See if she can glow you up.
Glow you up.
And I just realized Drama doesn't have fake glasses. There must be some prescription there.
Oh, yeah. They're strong. Yeah.
So, happy birthday, Crystal, the big 35. You can run for president now.
It's 35.
Yeah.
Seems young. 35? How old's AOC?
Late 20s.
Late 20s.
Oh, wow. I'm old.
Buttigieg is
You're
like
telling me
38.
next year I could run for president? I'm fucking old.
You should.
The next one is a shout out to Nicole. Nicole and her husband Dan actually are Run Club members.
Oh, yeah. Dan's the
homie.
Our
And
buddy, yeah.
Nicole it's her birthday, and she just launched a collaboration with her skincare brand, sun care brand, which I actually use. Mm-hmm. It's called Virgin Sun Care. It's at Remedy Place. And Remedy Place is the spot on Sunset Boulevard that...
That's the founder we're going to have on.
Yes, Jonathan, right?
Yep.
Yes, I've talked to him on Instagram as well.
Yeah,
I run by Remedy Place every single day.
It's a great place. I'm a member.
It looks incredible.
Thanks to Dan, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
I go in there and get my vitamin IVs, my little hyperbaric chambers.
Yeah, it looks so nice.
It's so cool.
It's so nice. So her skincare is now available there, Virgin Sun Care. So it's like her, she's Italian. And I remember the story is something of kind of like olive oil that her grandmother used to kind of help repair damaged skin from the sun.
Nice.
So that's her own like kind of formula she's
virgin
developed.
Skin.
Yeah, that virgin skin,
Yep.
like mine.
Well, not sure.
And then next is to Liam, longtime Kathy, GRC 75er. Nice work.
Fuck bikes.
Yeah, fuck bikes.
Go push a biker.
Yeah. If you're a real GRCer, I want to see you kick a biker.
Okay, there you go.
Kick a bike, kick a scooter. What about scooters? Where should GRC stand on scooters?
Kick them. Those are the rollerbladers of GRC.
Yes.
Maybe you should.
If you're not on 2 feet.
Maybe you should use that video of Pete throwing the birds around for the.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good inspo. Yeah, I want to see fucking shin splints. If you don't have shin splints and muscle fatigue, kick them. You know what I mean?
That's so amazing. So Liam has a online fitness company, online coaching company, and in terms of revenue, had his best year ever.
Woo.
And he said, and I mentioned that you would have your best year ever if you complete the challenge. Mm-hmm. And it came true.
It does work.
It does work. You do the run challenge, you become rich.
Wow.
My guess, and I mean, full circle, Keith Gill, AKA Deep Fucking Value, AKA Roaring Kitty, ran a 4 fucking minute mile. 4
Jesus.
minute and 3
We're
seconds. But so full circle,
Who is this guy? Anyway.
you run fast.
Yeah, and
You
I heard
become
everyone. I
rich.
heard every biker actually went bankrupt this year.
Yeah. Talk to Melvin.
Crazy story. Yeah, all the founders.
You're
I heard
soon to be
Melvin's a
bankrupt.
big pedal biker.
Yeah. Melvin's rolling around in his beach cruiser, broke as fuck.
Okay, well, shout out to Liam.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats, Liam. And that's it. Do
I
we have
won.
any other shout outs?
I won.
Oh, Pete.
So this Kylie Brown DM'd me, and she wanted to give a shout out to her best friend Melanie, whose birthday is on February 2nd. She is the one that introduced Kylie to Group Chat 2 years ago, with both listening to the pod religiously, and they even have their own group chat to discuss topics you guys break down.
Wow.
While Dee can be a bit much.
No, D.
No.
Come on.
Harvard man.
I mean, this is what they teach us at Harvard. Elitist.
Well,
yeah.
luckily for you, she has grown to love and appreciate your perspective. He's a Harvard man, for goodness sake. We are both huge Cathys of the pod and are ready to attend GCU. Happy birthday, Mel.
Nice.
Awesome.
Shout out to our female listeners, man.
Yeah,
I
shout
know
out,
it's
shout out.
annoying, but it's just so sick that there's like a bunch of women sharing.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, the live shows. It was.
I know.
It was pretty even.
I know, it's pretty cool. Because I got to be honest, like I don't really know what we do. You know, I feel like we're pretty duty.
I got some feedback from someone said, sounds like a bunch of frat bros talking. I'm like,
Wrong show.
yeah.
Wrong show. We
This
didn't
is
go to
not-
Sigma Chi and beat up Shah Rukh Khan's
Yeah. We didn't beat Indians up on Saturdays at USC.
Yeah, that sounds like a Cody saying that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. What an episode.
Incredible.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Hold the line. Do not sell. We don't break.
We don't.
I bought back in. by
And
the
just
way.
to keep in mind, we are not certified stock tippers.
Yeah.
So do not
Actually,
take
anything we
it.
say is for entertainment.
Nothing is
purposes only.
certified about us.
Only
Absolutely
Pete.
not.
Once again, only Pete. All right. See you soon.